Good morning, art buddies. Come on in and welcome to Bricolage with Paint Girly. When I was thinking and pondering yesterday, really, it should have been sooner than yesterday, but it wasn't. What I might like to do today was thinking I really wanted to make a chubby, small journal. But I really didn't have any ideas. I was thinking about cloth. Good morning, Gail. How lovely to see you. And then I was rummaging. Hey, hi, Jacqueline. Good morning. I was looking through a box. I was trying to find some space on the floor to tuck some. They're like shaped like a shoe box would be, but they're plastic. You see through the bottom. And I was looking in a couple of those, and I thought, well, if I tuck them back under the table, I'll forget I have them. So I don't want to do that. And then when I looked in another little storage box like that, I found these small paper bags, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to make a paper bag journal? Haven't done that in a little while. So I was looking at the bags and fiddling around with it, and I thought, oh, I don't have the brain power for this. So I went onto YouTube, and lo and behold, I found a quick little video with a cute little paper bag journal. Of course, I put my own spin on it. Get this. You're in your craft room? Oh my, are we going to have snow? That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I clicked through a couple samples together. They're not completed. We'll do some decorating and some embellishing on those. And I'll show them to you in a minute. But first, I started to coffee dye some paper so I would have it for the pages. And I'm very impatient, as some of you would know. So instead of letting them air dry, which of course I didn't have time for today, or using my heat tool or any of that jazz, I've been ironing my paper because it goes so much quicker. And then I have a piece of fabric that I also painted some of my coffee on, and I ironed that too. That might still be a little damp. So I don't have too many more to go. So come on in and say hi. I see there's a couple more of you here. Are we shy this morning? So how are you girls doing? What's happening? What's going on? So the inspiration I got for today is as a channel I found. The lady is called LeNae Creates. Has anybody come across her channel? It's got tons of subbies. Tons. So the paper bag journal is the only video I've had a chance to see because I just saw it this morning. Mom is doing okay. Mom is not happy, but that's to be expected. They tell us at her new facility that, it's all normal, getting reacclimated to a new place kind of stuff. I think she's just decided to be difficult because she can be. I mean, the food, not familiar with her? Yeah, I wasn't either. Um, the food is absolutely delicious. My husband and I were there. Gosh, what day were we there? Thursday, Friday. It's all running together. Anyway, we decided to have lunch there with her. So our choice was a Hawaiian chicken with rice and an egg roll, which I got, or they said roast beef, baked potato, and beets. Well, my husband has just discovered he likes beets and he likes roast beef. So we ordered that for him and that for mom. Well, don't they come out with a great big piece of prime rib? My husband said it was absolutely delicious. I mean, it looks so tender. It was cooked perfectly like we like it. We like it a little pink. Do you think my mother will eat that? And nope, nope. She used to make prime rib for Christmas sometimes. Okay. She ate a little bit of her baked potato, and she stuck her nose up at mostly everything else. We ended up getting her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. My mother sticks her nose up at anything. Then our daughter was there with her husband. They were trying to figure out the remote control for her TV. And they sat while she had lunch, keep her company. And they brought out the soup. Mom stuck her nose up at the soup. I won't even tell you what she referred to it as. And then she said to my son-in-law, try it. Just try it. You'll see. Well, he didn't see anything wrong. He didn't see anything wrong with it. Hi, Angie. She's just, I'm telling you, when we went to visit and the chef brought us 2 plates of food, it was, she was eating, I'm telling you, slop at the other place. I was there one night and she had pizza. I had brought sandwiches from a sandwich shop. She didn't want any parts of the sandwich I brought. Okay, Mom. We'll just have them bring in dinner and you and I can eat in your room. Okay. So they bring her a slice of pizza, mixed vegetables on the side that were not in a separate dish. So, like zucchini and stuff like that, it's real watery and runny. The vegetable juice was running all over the plate. The pizza was soggy. She said this pizza isn't very good. The sauce is very, very spicy. And I said, well, Mom, I've got this nice sandwich here. Nope, didn't want the sandwich. Hey, Teresa, how are you feeling? And lifted up the cheese, scraped all the sauce off. She was determined to eat that soggy pizza. I just, it's mind blowing. We can't figure it out. So we'll see. But the staff there is, I'll just give you one more example. You're doing better? Oh, that's excellent. The head nurse there, my sister was there, and one of the residents was very upset and distraught about something. And he said, well, you know what? I've got work to do, but how about you come in my office? Let's get you in the seat and get you comfortable, and you and I can just hang out and we can chat. I can do my work, and then you won't be lonely, and hopefully you won't be sad. Okay? I mean, we're just amazed at what we've seen in just really a week. So anyhow, so I anticipate it will get better. She had her nails done the other day. I am ironing paper, Teresa. Thank you for asking. I didn't want to put stark white paper in the project I'm doing today. I think this is a good one, gals. I think you're going to enjoy this. It's not very difficult. There's a little fiddly part to it, but it's not too bad. So most of us, I would say, have paper bags, either lunch size or maybe a little bigger, maybe a little smaller. Sometimes you get a bag. It's not really a lunch bag, but you could use it for a lunch bag, or you could put a present in it, something like that. You probably could even use a grocery store bag if you wanted a big journal. All right, I'm moving my grungy towel, which is steamy, steamy, steamy. And then you can decorate them and, of course, do whatever you want with them. And LeNae Creates, she was using a cute paper pack to decorate hers. And I use scraps of paper. This glass really stays warm. I use scraps of paper, you'll see, from, let me turn my other light on here. I don't know if that's better or worse. Let me know. Let me know how my distance is as far as camera to my work surface, if you would. Now these are just, it's just paper I took out of one of these Oxford composition books that flip up, because the size worked with what I was working with today. And so then I trimmed a little bit off. Now the one you'll see, this is going to be probably, well, it's probably going to be a little on the small side for both. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fold some of these while we chat a little bit. So I have my coffee that I keep in my fridge. Wonderful, Ange. Are you going to do the Christmas one? I think I might do a Christmas one, Ange, like you said. So I cut this paper in half once I took it out of the Oxford composition cover. And then I trimmed off what I didn't want. And then I used my corner rounder so that the pages matched. And then I just noticed when I did the coffee on here and then ironed them, all the vertical lines, they kind of like almost disappear. So that's even better. Now, LeNae from LeNae Creates on YouTube, she purchased some, it looked like craft color paper from Amazon, I think she said, to put the pages in hers. Yes, you made a Christmas one. Oh, that just sounds darling to me, Ange. So I don't think I'm going to need all of these. I'm just going to fold a couple just right at the start here so I can show you. So what I found in my stash was a small package of small paper bags. And where did they go? Because I need those. Everything's kind of slipping down. Paper sacks. I don't know where I got these. They're 3.5 by 2 by 6 7/4. Color box? No idea. So you need two. You need 2 paper bags. So I'm just going to pull those out. And this is kind of what you end up with. Now, these are not decorated, and we're going to work on that. But first, I'm going to show you how it goes together. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips that LeNae gives on her. Hey, April, hello. Nice to see you. So I'm going to give you a few tips. And I'm going to give you a couple of things that I ran into, at least one anyway, that hopefully you can avoid. But this is the first one I started to put together. I decided I wanted to do, oh, this is not good. I put all my supplies right up in front of where chat is. If there's something you need for me to see, don't be concerned about using capital letters. Use caps. That's really good. Hey, Stitch It, how are you? Good morning. So this is the first one. Now, what I didn't like about this one is the way I folded it. I folded it, and you'll see it's bigger. I folded it right where it seamed together, which is probably not a good idea. And I think I'm going to do something there to kind of hide that. It's probably hard for you to see, but, and then of course, these pages are going to get stitched in here. Now they could be a little bigger, but I'm going to use these. Now the next one, this is like what LeNae did. She used a paper pack And this is how it turned out for her. Now, I didn't put this on yet because she, I think she said she saw someone on TikTok do this. And she switched up and changed the closure. I'm going to show you the closure that LeNae uses, which is really cute. But what she did was she glued this piece on and then put her button on, which you can do. It looked fine, but she recommends that you put the button on first and then glue this on. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I stitched around my paper, as you can see here for my flap. What I should have done was stitch it on right on the paper bag. I stitched it and glued it. So it was a little fiddly getting that stitched area to glue down. I just used some binder clips to hold it tight for a little bit. And these are just pieces of paper that from Graphic 45 different packages. You know, this is the B1. This, I think, was just background papers with hot air balloons. And I forget, I think this was the other side of the B. This was something else. But a lot of their colors from a lot of their different packs kind of work together. So this really is just from my scraps. Now, LeNae does hers where she glues this together, which is fine. Some paper bags are more flimsy. As you know, they're not all created equal. But when you use paper like scrapbook paper, it, you know, toughens it up a little bit. But this one, I left this open. So if you wanted to, you have an additional pocket here. Looks like I glued that down a little too close, but it's a small pocket. It's fine, right? So we're going to work with these. And then, of course, pages will go in here. And she just does a simple pamphlet stitch to put her pages in, which works. So we're going to work on these. I'm going to do a little more to this. I'm going to use, I think, some cloth and maybe some more stamping. So we'll see. So these are two options. We'll see how it goes. So you want 2 paper bags. Now the measurements, I don't have any measurements to give you because all paper bags are different sizes. I don't know what you have. So it's kind of a judgment call. Most of you are seasoned artisans, and this would not be difficult. If you are new and you have questions and you're just finding my channel and you don't know what's going on, just ask. I'll be happy to help you with whatever I can. So the first thing she did was take her one paper bag and you want to open it up completely. Now this is where it's just a little bit fiddly. And you want to flatten this down. Now the first one that I did here, I had trouble getting it to lay flat. And it could be because this is a cheap little bag, okay? But the second one went a little better for me, and I'll tell you why. Because what I did was I pulled out the sides and kind of recreased them. I'm not in frame. Let me see. I don't want you to see my lap. So I kind of creased that going out. Instead of the bag goes in, you want to bring it open and get that as flat as you can. And the more you push up on that, it kind of automatically brings itself down. Now, you might have to get in there with a bone folder and kind of flatten it out. But see how this little bag, it folds and flattens out perfectly on this side. But when we get over here, kind of needs to be zhuzhed a little bit. And that could be because it's just a cheap little craft bag. It's not really put together all that well. So you just want to try to flatten that out the best you can. All right. Now these little ridges on the end of this bag bother me, so I'm going to trim that off. I don't know that all bags have that. Maybe a lot of them do. It's been a long time since I packed a lunch. Oh, that's cute, Ange. That was nice. All right, so I'm just trimming that off. Now you're going to open this bag the same way, but you want to take the bottom off first. And it's just easier for me to use a pair of scissors. Don't fuss around with the paper cutter with the end of that bag. So now with this one, like I said, when I put the bags together, the seam was there. But with this one, and I can't really show you because now I have my cardstock on there, I folded it in further. So my seam is in further, if that makes sense. It might make more sense in a minute. So let's see what I want to, so I want to open this up completely as well. And I want to flatten it out. Now, like I said, LeNae did not leave a pocket. She glued hers together completely. Hey, Joyce, good morning. This one, I left the pocket, so it will be up to you. So this is what you want to essentially do. If you don't want a pocket, you just put some glue in here and you close this and let it, seal shut with your glue. Then you want to put more glue in here, and then you're going to put glue around here, and this slips inside. She said about a half inch. So you would press that all down. You just want to make sure that your edges are straight and that it's not, cockeyed or wonky. Okay, you just want to zhuzh that in and then press that down. So what I did with my first one was I folded it right there where that seam is. The second one, I folded it in more. So depending on where you fall. Oh, hey, Sophia. Hi, nice to see you. I know, don't they look fabulous? You want to trim this because this is going to then be your flap. And you just have to trim it accordingly. See, this is the bottom of your bag. Can you see that okay? See? I kind of like the pocket. So I'm going to make this one with the pocket. So in order to make the pocket, you want to leave one end open. So again, I'm going to trim off my little ridges. You can leave them on. You may like it. And there again, not all ridges are created equal either, right? So I'm going to leave this side open. I'm going to take my glue and just put a little bead of glue in here. It's a little fiddly, but you really only have to do the one side. And just press that down. Well, you get used to them, Ange. And these are longer than some of the others, but these are called coffin shaped, the way they're shaped and sanded. And I think this is like my favorite. I used to just do the square. But of course, these are glue-on, so my choices are limited. So now here I'm going to put a little bead of glue in and around this whole area. And I'm going to slide this in here. I'm going to wiggle it in as best I can. And I just want to make sure it's straight. And then you just press that down. That's your cover. Now this is the part of the bottom of the bag that we squashed flat. So you want to make sure that's folded very nicely and get a good crease there. If you have any questions, yeah, if you really look at it, Gail, it's shaped like, you know how the coffins have that certain shape? They're narrower and they kind of come down and then they're long, like an old-timey. So it's not just square across the top. They go in. They're narrower, but flat at the on the tip. So then you just take some glue and you glue this part of the flap down. Yeah, like an old-fashioned one, you know, like the cowboys. When the cowboys, those guys, how those coffins looked. At least that's my take on it, because that's how they're shaped. All right. So then you have to decide where you want this folded, like how big you might want your journal. You want it to meet in here. I don't want it to be folded on my... So I'm going to fold mine right where this bottom bag slides in to the flapped part. And it ends here. That's where I'm going to fold mine. So now I can cover up that seam if I want, and I don't have to worry about it falling apart because there's no seam on the fold. Of course, this is making a smaller journal. And then I'm just going to eyeball this. Now, this is why it's difficult to give measurements, because everybody's paper bag that they might be using is different. So I just want to cut right there. Now, here we go. Now remember, I left it open, so on this one I have a pocket. So that's basically it. And then you decorate it however you want. Right? So I have two of them that are partially done. So let's work on this one first. I just took pieces of scraps from my stash, scraps of graphic 45 paper. Now, I will tell you that I haven't done this kind of scrapbooking in a while. And one thing that I would do the next time I cover one like this is I would make sure that all of my paper is the same size, so that when I put it on the cover, they match. See how it's just off a little bit there? I should have zhuzhed this down a little bit. Now, LeNae left a little edge around her paper, which is what I did as well. But you could butt your paper right up to the edge. I don't see why you couldn't do that. All right. She didn't stitch hers. I did that. You know, it's all preference stuff. So say you don't have any scrapbook paper. That's fine. You don't have to have scrapbook paper. You could use wrapping paper. You could use the napkins. You could use tissue paper. You could do what I did here and not use any of that. And I'm going to put some fabric on this one, but this one I just started by stamping. I'm going to stamp, I think, a little more on there. Now, she just took her scrapbook paper and she took her paper bag and she just, put it on a piece that it would fit. She eyeballed it up. She traced around her flap and then just cut it with a pair of scissors. And I said to myself, Lori, when you cut this out, before you stitch it down, cut out the piece you want for here. And I went to the sewing machine, sewed my piece of paper, glued it on, opened it up, and thought, man, and I had forgotten to do it. So, I mean, you can still do it. It just was a little more fiddly. So this I'm going to glue here, but LeNae, the gal that inspired me to make this, put a button closure on. Now, I don't know how TikTok, the video on TikTok closed theirs, but I guess you could put a couple pieces of Velcro. You could bury magnets under there and a magnet, in here. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Or I guess you can just leave it free and just tie it. But LeNae put a button on here with a long cord so she could wrap it around her journal and then hinge it here, which is what I'm going to do. Now here, when I did my zigzag stitch, I didn't match it up to the center very well. So I think I'm going to put a little piece of lace there before I stitch it. And like I said earlier, if you were here, LeNae had put her second piece on the inside here and glued it down before she put on her button, which it looked okay with a stitch there. My paper is very plain, so it would really stick out. So I'm going to put my closure on first and then glue this on. All right. Now, when she put her papers in here and trimmed them out, she inked her edges and she did a little pocket here. Her pocket was different than mine, but that's okay. And this is really small, but you can tuck in anything you want. All right. So she got a vintage retro button. And that's what I have here that I'm going to use. Now, she used waxed linen for her wraparound cord. I don't care for that. This is just regular cotton type twine. I don't think, for me personally, I would like the feel of the waxed linen and wrapping that around my journal. That's just, again, a preference thing. So she just took her bag and laid her button where she wanted it. Oh, see, the lace isn't going to work. Oh, well, it's just going to have to be there. I was thinking I could cover it with a piece of, well, I guess I could, but it might look odd. Let's see. Do I have anything sitting right here? Probably not. I cleaned out a lot of stuff. Oh, I know where I have some stuff. Hold on. Let me grab my little tin up here. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I think Chat did go to sleep. Oh, April, she's busy. She's busy. That little feather keeps popping up. I think I'm gonna just let it the way it is. You're getting sleepy? I'm sleepy. I was up very early today. Too early for me to be up. But then I had to get busy. I had to get busy doing stuff. LeNae also recommends a 2-hole button because then you're not fussing with a lot of different stitches. So I think that's probably a good idea. And then you're going to need some kind of a pokey tool. And of course, it's got to be able to go through your button so you can make your marks. Were you, gal? Yeah. And you want a needle with a big eye that you can get whatever cording you're desiring to use through the needle. And of course, the needle's got to go through your button. I have on several occasions gone to the trouble of threading the needle, and then the needle doesn't fit through my buttonholes. And that's a oh. So that works. Okay. Now, where do I have my little... I think I may have to go visit the loo. I forgot to do that before my camera said, showtime. Okay, let's see here. I've been starting to put down a little piece of magnet so I don't lose my needle on my desk because I keep losing my needles. Lori, where do you buy coffin nails? April. My sister sells these. These are from a company called Red Aspen. And if you are interested and would like the information, I can hook you up. She will answer all your questions. And the designs and the styles are so cute. And they have different shapes too, April. They don't have just the coffin, but I'm starting to really like the coffin. Okay, so I punched my 2 holes, right? Now I'm going to thread my needle. Now this is way, way long, but I'm going to leave it long because then I can determine how much I want to wrap around. Yes, right. Exactly, Gail. I'm going to use this one. And, you know, this can be a nuisance. The whole, the eye of this needle isn't too terribly big. So that's not going to work. Okay, let's see. See if I can flatten this out. Sometimes if you wet the end. I'm getting a cramp in my hand. Sheesh. I was doing some kind of slow stitching or something in the living room. I didn't even realize. Well, I did drop, you know, some pins. But we picked them all up. Ron had the flashlight, you know, we thought we had gotten them all. And then weeks later, our daughter and her family are visiting. And of course, they all take their shoes off when they come in. Well, thankfully, it wasn't one of the kids, but our daughter. Like, whoa, what is this? She ended up with a pin, like right in between her toes. Oh, it doesn't help when your fingers start to lock up a little bit. At me, I don't know if that's an old age thing or not. Okay, meanwhile, back at the ranch, 15 minutes later, Lori's still trying, hey, Andrea, hi. This isn't going to go, girls. Now it's coming undone. It's come undone. All right, so what I need to do is find a bigger eyed needle. Big-o-goo. Oh, what's a chantilly lace in a pretty face? A ponytail hanging down. A wiggle and a walk. A jiggle and a something. I am getting such a cramp in that finger. Makes the world go round. There ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl. Oh, sorry. Sorry, ladies. I just have to give it a little. I think I told this story before. My sisters and I had signed up. We were all about wanting to learn how to do some felting. And, oh, good grief. And we signed up for a class. My sisters are an hour from me, and the class was an hour from here. So we were all psyched to go. I don't think that's going to fit through the buttonhole. And my younger sister got ill, and she ended up not being able to go. So we were working on one project, and my hand went, and this lady came over that was part of the class. That's what you had to do to get your hand. Oh, really, Ange? She came over and she rubbed right in here. She was a retired masseuse. And boy, I'll tell you what, it eased up almost right away. I just can't move my finger right now that one direction. All right, I'm cutting this on an angle. Let's see if this helps me to be able to get it threaded. Yeah, it's just not cooperating. And somewhere here in this room, I've got a needle threader. Now, see, that doesn't help that just the one goes through. All right, let's see if this will go through. LeNae ordered a really nice kit from Amazon, she said. If you need darning type, bookbinding type equipment. Now, most of us probably have it. And like she said, use what you have in your house first before you would spend money on something like that. But boy, you got the awl, and you got needles, and you got the waxed linen. I am bound and determined to do this. Oh, good night. It would be a lot easier if my fingers weren't locking up. Lori, stiffen my thread with a little glue on the end. It dries quickly. All right, I'll try that. Thank you, Andrea. I don't usually have this much trouble. Oh, I don't want it on a nail. Make me spend my money. I'm going to use my heat tool. All right, let's see. Maybe I should trim that even still. It's a little hairy. I can't use it too. Like, I have one here that's a gigantic hole, but it won't go through the button. So you got to keep that in mind. Anybody want to sing some background music? Should we do the Jeopardy song? Do, 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 do. It's not going. It is not going. Oh, this is going to be tight, but I think I can do it with that big needle. All right, let's see. It's like a hairy Mary. I did it. I did it. 20 minutes later, I did it. Jeez, it's still pulling. Okay. Now, she did not hers. She did not. Pick up those. Do, 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 do. Now she started from the inside. She left a tail. Now, this is quite long, but I want to do that because I want to have enough for a wraparound. Let's just gauge this here. So if this closes, that should be plenty. That should be more than enough. Okay, so let's trim this. Then we're going to put on the button. Make sure your button goes on the way you want. And then she just went back through that second hole that we made. And she snugged that up, and then she went back through again. Now, of course, she used, like I said, the waxed linen to do this. So she didn't knot it, but one of the things she did say was that, you know, those stitches were tight and that it was waxed linen, so they weren't going anywhere. I guess because of the wax, you know, kind of acts as a stopper, you know, kind of. Now this is more fiddly because I've got that double thread on that big needle. And if this button falls and cracks in half, I'm gonna cry. Just about through. I didn't want a real huge button on here because it's not that big. Oh, got it. Now all I need is a knot. And I won't be able to pull my thread. Where'd my button go? I've lost my button. So are you totally confused yet? Where's Marty? Somehow I ended up with my I pulled it right through. Don't want it on that side. I need to have a little tail here. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. This is why she uses the waxed, because it probably slides in a little easier. This is grabbing a little bit. I'm going to try to hold it better. And I'm trying not to pierce that other piece of cord. I'm holding on to my tail. I'm holding on to my tail, girls. I'm holding on to my tail. Heavens to Murgatroyd. This should not be this difficult. Oh, goodness me. This is going to be so darling when it's together. If I ever get it together. Now my needle is stuck in my button. All right, you know what? I'm just going to start over. I have to have a smaller needle. Because I want you to see you can do it and it will work. So that was Super Jagunda. The glue on the end didn't work for me. Maybe if I put this in, when those threads separate, do them all individually. Of course, I have the wrong glasses on to do this too. Ah, come on, you rascal. I've got them. I've got them. Oh, but that one stinking little... That one's stinking. Oh, I don't want to pierce my... I might have to edit this. Did I miss anybody coming in? I'm going to get it, girls. I'm going to get it before it gets me. Okay, I've got it. I've got it. Now I've got a twisted sister. Okay, note to self, make sure you use thread. It's because I get a thought in my head. It's coming undone. I think I can adjust that down the road, like cut off what's not right. It's really cute the way she did it, and it works really well. If it doesn't work after this, I don't know. I might give up the ghost. Do you believe I flipped it the wrong way? I stitched on the outside of the button instead of the inside of the button. So what's new? What's happening? What's going on? Velcro. Now that sounds good, doesn't it? I just have to make sure I wind it the right way once I finally get it on here. Bum, 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 bum. Look, now I got a knot. You can't make this stuff up, girls. This is live YouTubing. I have a stinking knot. This is why LeNae uses the waxed linen. Of course, that can knot too, but usually it comes undone a little easier. She's come undone. Do, 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 do. Is anybody laughing? Is anybody having a giggle? This is when I usually say life with the elderly. This doesn't help having this in here. Let's get that out of the way. And she went through yet again. I don't want another knot. Now, what she did once here, and it is in there pretty securely, but I'm going to glue this, right? Because I had that other piece of paper to glue on. So what she did now is she went back through that first hole, and instead of going through the button, she snuck her needle behind the button. Because you don't want this too thick here either, right? Because the paper won't stick. So then you take the needle off after all that time putting it on. And then you close your book. Now I'm going to trim that. And then you just wrap it around. Wrap it around. I did it. I did it. Right? That's what she did. She did it much quicker. Much quicker. Okay. So let's unwind her. And we're going to find my other piece of paper. Here it is. Now I want to ink my edges. And I'm also thinking this is kind of boring and plain here. So maybe I will Yay! Maybe I will stamp. Maybe I'll do some stamping on it. Just to give it a little something something. Because I have my Coolio LeBlanc stamp here. Let me grab my stays on. Because I like it and I just juiced it up. Okay, be honest. Are you sticking around to see how it turns out, or are you sticking around to see what I do wrong next? You can tell me. I can take it. You can tell me. I'll close up my glue before I have a problem there. Okay, so this isn't going to be perfect. But there again, what is? Put a little there, put a little there. I think that's better than plain. Now I'm going to trim this. Now I'm going to have to put some clips on this because with this little bumpity bump there. And what was the answer, Ange? Did you cook food? I'm thinking you did. All right. Now I have to thread another needle, but I am going to use the wax linen to stitch in my pages. You did? I figured you did. Now, of course, I got that button on the other side too, so you got to keep that in mind. I don't know what I did with all my little clippies. So I'm just going to put this on the ends here for just a little bit till that glue sets up a little bit. Now I can fix tags and do different things here, right? I'm just showing you that you can make a little pocket, you can leave it plain, and now we're going to put in our pages here. And you can put in as many or as few as you like. I just folded these in half, and you're just going to do a plain, ordinary old oops, sorry, hit the camera. Pamphlet stitch. So here's my wax linen. Bye, Andrea. Have a good day. Oh, let's see. This one kind of looks nice with that. And LeNae does 2 times and a little bit. You really do have plenty. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. 3, 4. Shut the door. I can envision a lot of these different little bag journals, and you know, they're small enough where you could put them in your handbag, or as my daughter would say, purse, right? You could put coupons in there. You could have your store list. I think it could be quite useful. All right, so we're just punching 3 holes, 1 in the center, 1 here, and 1 down here. And I should have done that with my pages in. Now, I think I want my tie in the center. So I'm going to punch my holes again, because I've got myself all flustered with, oh, you know what would be a good idea if I clipped it? Let's have a clip. Let's see if this will work, being as I can't find my other clips. Shocker, shocker. Oh, I don't want that one. I've got a lot of these clips holding the cords up out of the way. Now, if you're a real, fussy pants, you can take your time, you can measure, but it's, it's junk journal, really. And sometimes it looks cool when it's, a little wonky or junky. Now, wax linen. Right here. And this should be easy to thread. Famous last words. I'm going to start in the center. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You want to leave yourself a tail. Go to the end. Come through. Make sure you give it a nice tug. Down to the other end. Let's see. And then we're going to go back to the center. You really want to try not to pierce your thread, because that can be troublesome. And you want to make sure that it's tight enough where you're not crinkling your cover or your paper, but that you don't have any loop-de-doops. And of course, you can continue to decorate and add things. What do you think? I've got a pocket here. Got my little pages. I got a little pocket here. And I just used scraps from my stash and 2 little paper bags. Now I've got this one. Thanks, Ange. Okay. So this one was 2 paper bags. I painted it with the coffee that I have here. Thank you, Gail. And like I said, I folded this on the seam, which I'm not crazy about. I put it together the same way we did this one, except I did this one like LeNae, and I glued my edge here together. So, of course, it's puffy here. It's not all glued, and I can see that line. I'm not particularly fond of that, but I think I'm going to remedy that somehow. And then I was thinking, well, wouldn't it be fun to put a piece of fabric on this flap? But I'm not sure if I really want to. And then I was going to do some more stamping. I've got my ABC stamp. Where did I put my block? I love this ABC stamp. So let's just see what we can do with this without, maybe you don't have any scrapbook paper. Maybe you're not a scrapbook paper person. Maybe your thing is fabric or drawing or stenciling or stamping, and you don't have any of that paper, and you don't want to spend anything extra. You just want to try one. So let's see what happens if we start decorating one up here. Just pick out some stamps out of your stash that you might like, which I absolutely love. That. Now this is, I think, a fly, some kind of a bug. It's a bug. Okay, that looks not too shabby. Let's put one here. Let's not forget the inside. Put that there. Now, what if we put one, let's say, let me find a piece of, I've got to have a piece of maybe not cardstock, but like a, like this here, like a manila kind of a color. And what if I stamp the bug on this? And let's tear this out. Let's make this really kind of junky, torn and raggedy, and let's get rid of that. Let's ink this. Let's try this. Just put a little something something on the background there of that. And I don't know where I'm going to put this. It's going to go somewhere. The other thing I have here is, look, I have a little postage stamp sitting here. And I've got a couple pieces of tea bag. So I think I want to stamp this. None of this stuff really goes together. It's just stuff I like. So that might look cute somewhere on it. And then I was thinking a couple of these might look cute stamped here and there. And then I've got my splat box. That ticket's cute too. We might put the ticket somewhere. I'm not even looking at the time. Oh, I'm okay, I think. Let's put this here. You see, every little thing you add just, I think, makes it look better. All right, so that looks kind of cool. So then let's find, oh, I've got to close this drawer. When one drawer opens, the other one has to close. Thank you very much. Nope, that's the wrong one. These would be fun and something. Hey, hi, Peggy. Oh, have fun. Well, thanks. I appreciate you doing that. That's very sweet. How's the weather in Boston? It's a beautiful day here today. A little chilly. I'm just looking through my pencils. I do love this one. I really, really do. All right, so now I want a color that's going to show up on here. Okay, Gail, have a great afternoon. Thanks for coming in. Enjoy your day. Let's see. I'm going to try the mahogany, the aged mahogany. Let's see how that works. I just want to put a little something else on here. Now, where are this is a red color, so I'm going to go with my red orange handled brush. Oh, ice hockey. Oh, are you cold, Peggy? Were you bundled up? All right, let's try a little bit of this. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Do, 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 do. Oh, yeah. I have to say, I just bought a couple of more. Oh, my goodness, my hands today. I guess I need to drink some more water. A couple more oxides. Joanne Fabrics, you know, Black Friday stuff's all coming up and happening. So Joanne Fabrics has a sale. So I got a couple more colors in the oxides. I really do like the oxides. Let's put a little bit of this one on the back. Is it just the one grandson that plays hockey, Peggy, or do they all play like different leagues? Or my grands did soccer this year as a first for them. Gotta go watch a basketball game. Okay, Peggy, enjoy your visit. Have fun. She's a good granny. To me, watching basketball would be like tearing my fingernails out. And not the plastic ones, the real ones. Okay, so I just stenciled a little bit. I'm not sure how well you guys can really see that. I think I need a little more ink-a-dink on that corner. Okay, so let's put my sweater sleeves are catching on stuff. You have to do that tomorrow, Ange? Watch basketball? I'm not a fan. I mean, it was okay in high school, but then it was, you know, I was there to look at boys. I wasn't really there to watch the game. That's just the truth, girls. That's how I rolled. Just the truth. All right, this little piece of tea bag that I stamped on, I think I want to put that there. And maybe I should just use a little bit of, if I can find one, just a little bit of glue stick. I think I have one sitting here. It's buried, but I see it. Hopefully it's got some stuff on it. Oh, that's different. Yeah, professional I can't do. I really. Well, I would be knitting or doing something anyway. I can't just sit. I do that when I'm watching my baseball, but okay. I might have to come back over top of this with something, but for now I'm just using the glue stick to put that little piece of tea bag on there. So I think that looks cute. Now, like I said, this one doesn't have a pocket. I'm not crazy about that because, see, you can see the line. You can even see it on the screen. You probably can see that line of indentation there where that's glued together. Of course, it's a bag, you know, so I didn't glue the whole thing. I just glued that edge. Let's see. Now, I want to incorporate some fabric here, too. So maybe, oh, cheesecloth. Don't let me forget the cheesecloth. Let's have a little piece of cheesecloth. You know what? I'm going to turn on my hot glue gun, which I should have done that before. So let's have a little piece of that. And then let's see what we can do here. I don't know that I see, I like my flap the way that it is. I don't know that I want to cover up all this stuff that I've done. Certainly you could put fabric on it, right? But I think I'm going to just tear some bits. Just some little bits. Now you could stitch the fabric, which would kind of be cool. But when I tear this, it really gets kind of ratty. I'm thinking this on the inside somewhere because it might be too big. Let's just cut it. I like how this frays. And this I can use my Fabri-Tac. You would leave it, Ange? Now I used the aged mahogany because it's kind of like an aged mahogany on this fabric. Golly sakes, I have to start maybe leaving my Fabri-Tac upside down. It gets so chilly out here, And then I put the heat on, but this doesn't really heat up well. Really, I should have a basket that I take into the house every night. I don't know which way is up with that fabric, because it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter after all. You're out of fabric too. How did that happen, Ange? You're working too hard. I just saw a little girl's face, I thought here. Maybe it's not. Oh, isn't that funny? Oh no, it's like that. Okay, here we go. Where do you get your fabric, Ange? Is there some place around? I mean, do you go to Walmart, or do you have like years ago we would go out to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where the Amish are, and sometimes you could get some good prices out there. I bought some stuff online too. Of course, I don't use fabric like you do. Mine's just another one of those things. I like it. I don't really use it, but I want to have it. I know, it's crazy. All right, now I want to put some lace here. So I think I'm going to get this out. Walmart, that's what you have. Oh, this is kind of cool. Let's see which one I like better. Oh, this is cool too. Let's pull out a piece of this. Look at that. I don't think that hides it enough. Yeah, kind of like that. Gosh, I don't know that I feel like having to squeeze my fabric tack all the way down this here whole page. Okay, here we go. It kind of camouflages that a little bit. Well, actually, it does it totally, doesn't it? Nice. Nice. I don't know that I want the same thing on this side, though. I could have stitched this on. That would have been fun. Too late now. I could stitch through it, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to glue the other side here. Okay, Ange, enjoy. Naps are wonderful. Okay, let's move some of this out of the way. Now, where do I want this? I think this might be too in your face for the front cover. So I might put this here. Just like that. And the hot glue will hold down that little bit of cheesecloth. All right. So far, I be liking it. Now, this kind of piqued my interest because of the coloring. And it might be a little nicer than, of course, it's wrinkly. Let's see if I can get the bow undone. I might have glued this. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can get my tweezers in there. See if I can tell. That's great. Okay, so let's do this. Take my old piece of, this is just an old hand towel. And I keep it in my workroom. So then I can just grab my iron and iron when I need to. So I'm just going to iron out this ribbon. And then what I have to do is find a button that I think it's going to work and be large enough. But see, the ribbon is very flexible. And I'll see if I can get this to do what I want it to do. Now I'm trying not to. Sometimes when you iron the ribbon, it gets more wrinkly than when you started. You know how it can crunch up? So I'm trying to avoid that. And I don't know, the button jar I pulled out, I don't know if there's going to be anything in that I can use. That's going to work. Look, I just ironed in another fold. Oh my goodness, now look. Oh, I think it's taken off some of the grunge off of the back of my, that's all right. Oh, it's melting it. You know, I was going to say, I'm surprised it's not melting. And there you go. Well, this is a live stream for the books. Look, that's not, I can't use that. It's all, I mean, I can use it for other stuff, but it's all, it won't last. Heavens to Murgatroyd. La 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 la. I do need to pick out a button though. Do I not? All right, let's see. Let's see if I have a button that is going to work. I'm looking for something with fairly large holes, I think. That's got threads still in it. Well, that's a 4-hole one. I think that's too small. That's a possibility, but it's got the 4, which I think could be fiddly. Oops. Button on the run. Oh, that one looks good. See if we can get it. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Oh, that's really thin. Oh, that feels, it's real, oh, it's real soft. It feels like a shell. That's really small. There's another one of those. I don't want the button to stick out too much. I was thinking about one of those, but that's kind of small too. So, you know, you have to be able to wrap your thread around. Oh, look at that little baby button. I guess it's a button. It's only got, oh, I guess that's a bead. He's got one hole. One hole and you're a bead. Whether you like it or not. All right, so let's see if I can get this on. Now the question is, what do I want to use? I really don't want to use the wax linen. It sounds like Santa's coming. I've got tons of crochet cotton, which might that might work. Well, let's do this first. Let's put our pages in. So again, we're going to do the 3 blanket stitch, and I just have to find where I put my pages. There they are. Now these were coffee stained, and then I ironed them. Is everybody still with me? I'm thinking a journal like this with some almanac pages, or maybe pages from the Sears Roebuck, you know, of course a bigger paper bag would be nice. I purchased those clips, I think seamstress used. They're real flat and they're long. Do you think I can find where I put those? I have no idea where I put them. They would be great for a little project like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, 7. And you could always decorate your pages. This is another good thing to do. Like we have talked, I know Calico Kate often says, you know, she sits down and she does wax seals, and then she's got a supply of them. Or if you're tying bows, or if you're stamping, you know, things like this. You know, Tim Holtz is the same thing. I forget what he calls it. But where you're preparing, so when you go to make or build something, you don't have to stop and make every little item you want to put on the project or in the project. So these pages treated with coffee or tea, and then they're dry. You've got them in a folder or a little compartment of some kind. And then when you want to use them, you've got them available. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. So I'm just going to clip that. Again, like I said, we're going to do the 3-hole punch. Let's see if that one fits just barely. Get the poke tool. One in the center. One at the bottom. at the top. And something like this, it's so easy to poke through the paper and the cover. So I'm going to go ahead and use the wax linen because that's what I have here. I didn't pull anything different out for this. So let's see. I don't have any red. This is like a honeycomb kind of a color. I think I'll use that. I think I need like maybe 2.5. 2 seemed a little short on the last one, quite honestly, for my taste. And we'll grab a large-eyed needle. So Thursday is Thanksgiving. I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. We'll be in Pennsylvania with our family. So I will not be streaming Thursday. I might pop on another time later this week. We'll see. And you just go in the center. If you want your strings on the outside, you start on the outside. If you want your strings in the middle, you start in the middle. And then go either to the top or the bottom, top or bottom again, and then come back through the center. And I like to put my cord. Now see, this time it seems like I've got a lot of extra. I like it on either side. And then just, you want to give it a good snug, good tug. And then just tie it. If you've got plenty, you can tie a bow. You can hang a charm. Oh, I was going to use that little postage stamp, and I did not. All right. So that's easy enough, right? To get your pages in. All right, now I want to get my button on. Now maybe this one I will put a piece of lace or something under the button. Kind of looks, doesn't look too bad. All right, so now I don't have any choice because I'm not lining the inside. So I'm just going to take my poke tool and go all through all 2 layers, the bag and the fabric. Okay, so I've got my needle and I don't know how long I want this. This might not be as bad as I think. I just thought it seemed kind of yucky. No, my notice for my eye appointment on Tuesday keeps popping up. All right, again, I'm going to start on the inside. Ouch. Good thing Ange left. Oh, I didn't check to see if this needle would go through my button, and it will not. It will not. Oh my goodness, it's popping up again. Let's turn that little volume thingy down. Let's try this one. I think this one will work. All right, through the fabric. Over the fabric and through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. Oh, tell me this one won't fit either. Please don't tell me that. No, it's just me. I've got no grip. And we're going down the other side of the button. Through that hole we made. You probably don't even have to poke a hole, but it kind of keeps you, you know, so it's lined up and it stays straight. It doesn't wiggle around if you do the measurement. Now this one I did not build a pocket or a tuck spot, which you could have. To put a belly band in or do whatever you like. But because I didn't use that any scrapbook paper, I really didn't even think about that. But it's your journal, so just have at it. Do what you want. I think a Christmas one of these would be good. And you know what? You could put in enough pages to make this like your daily, like your December daily journal. Now my fabric got a little crooked here, but I think that's going to look fine. Right? It's not perfect. Doesn't have to be. So now LeNae went and snuck her needle behind the button. She goes back in that original spot and then just pulls it through. Now she said it's not going to go anywhere. And she just trimmed that off. But you could add a little glue there, I'm thinking. I'm thinking you could. And I think 4 times around is plenty. Don't forget to take your needle off. And we'll just trim that. And that's this one, I think. So these are the 2 we did. And this is the one that I used, that I put together to show you how it goes together. So here they are. This one we used the scrapbook paper. And these were just bits, you know, left over. It wasn't like a brand new packet. We got our pages. This one we did put a pocket. And I just put a little piece of card in there. But, you know, you can do other, I'm sure I'll do other stuff with this. Like I'm going to put, you know, this on here, maybe some words. You can put little stamps or little medallions or pieces of your paper pack on your paper. You can, you know, you can just jazz it up to your heart's content. You can put a pocket on the back. And then this one was done with no paper pack. It's just kind of in the rough. Just the paper bag and just embellishing with stamps, stencils. some scraps of paper, scraps of fabric. And you can do different closures, whatever you might like, but I kind of like that button. I like the button. So that's it. That's it for me today. This was fun. I liked making those. I think I'm going to be making some more. You know, if you have say you're in a card club or you have a couple of girlfriends in the neighborhood or something, you just want to give them a little something. I mean, you could tuck in a little gift card or just a little note and tell them how much you appreciate them being in their life. And then it's something that really small enough if you use a small, now, like I said, these are really small bags. But it made a good sized journal because you open it up, right, and flatten it out. What did I say? They're 3.5 by 6 3/4. So that's how small this bag is. So thank you, April. So if you use a regular lunch bag, you know, you're going to end up with a really good size journal. So keep that in mind. Let me know if you put one together. I would love to see yours. I'm thinking this needs some stamping down the side here. See, I just have to keep fussing. All right, ladies, I'm out. Out like a trout. Hey, have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Even if you're home by yourself, you know, I'm around. I'll have my phone. Send me a message. I'm going to be with family. You know, and sometimes that can be crazy. But whatever your plans are, enjoy your day. Enjoy your meal. And I'll be thinking about you. So I might see you later this week. I might pop one, you know, impromptu. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. My hubby takes care of all the cooking, and we're going to my sister's, so he'll cook the mashed potatoes there. We've got a few other things we need to take, but it's real low key for us. So that's it. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate your time and being here. And for the replayers, I'm so thankful for you as well. Thanks for joining in. Let me know if you put one together. And don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.